This is my audience today.
The NIL is hurting college football and has to be reformed. Until just a few years ago, a high school quarterback choosing a college had to think about some pretty important questions. Where can I get a good education? Where do I live? Which programs give me the best chance to win? And maybe which school gives me the best shot at the NFL? Those questions used to define college football, but today those questions are fading into a rearview mirror. Instead, many athletes echo the famous line from Jerry Maguire, "Show me the money," which is right here actually, which the school's biggest NIL deal, or which school has the biggest NIL deal, which one will pay for an apartment, a car, or appearance fees. According to the Mount, online college football recruiting has become increasingly auction style, with players choosing schools based primarily on financial offers rather than traditional loyalty or development. Today, I want to convince you while name images like this and known as NIL was created with good intentions, but it ultimately has damaged college football by weakening loyalty, harming competition, and shifting focus away from education and toward personal financial gain. As a lifelong college fan, I've personally watched my favorite teams change. Players transfer constantly, rosters feel unstable, and loyalty to schools, teammates, and fans have largely disappeared. To understand why NIL has caused these problems, we first need to understand what NIL is and why it was created. What is NIL and why was it created? For decades, college athletes were not allowed to earn money from their name, image, or likeness. A star quarterback could generate millions of revenue for a university, yet couldn't profit from their own popularity. That system was just unfair and unjust. In July of 2021, the NCAA introduced NIL, allowing athletes to earn money through endorsements, sponsorships, and according to the Daily Journal, the goal of NIL was to give students the same financial freedoms as non-athletes. However, while NIL fixed one problem, it created several others. For fans, alumni, NIL has led to constant roster turnovers. Players now leave teams primarily for functional reasons, which weakens environmental investments. This isn't just option, it's backed by data. According to Open Research, 20.5% of college football players entered the NCAA transfer portal in 2023, compared to just 6.4% in 2019. That dramatic increase shows how NIL has normalized the frequency of transfers. Additionally, research cited by American Public University explains that NIL has relaxed transfer rules, has created a free agent mindset where loyalty to a single institution is no longer a priority for student athletes. Now that we see how NIL affects loyalty and roster stability, we need to look at how it impacts team culture and competition. NIL also ruins team cultures and competitive balance. NIL has introduced inequality within teams and across college football programs. According to the paper Wolf, an uneven NIL compensation creates locker room tension, jealousy, and resentment among teammates. Players who once bonded together now compete financially with one another. Sports commentators have also spoken out. In the interview reported by Cron, former NFL quarterback Troy Aikman argued that NIL damages team unity and undermines the spirit of college athletes. On a larger scale, NIL hurts competitive balances. According to Mondak, schools with wealthy donors and NIL collectives can outbid smaller programs, widening the gap range between powerhouse schools and everybody else. As a result, college football has increasingly resembled professional free agency rather than an amateur collegiate sport. A concern echoed by an American Free News Network, which warns that NIL is eroding the traditions that once defined college football. But NIL doesn't just damage competition, it also harms something even more important than education. Third, NIL undermines the educational mission. College sports were designed to balance athletes with academics. However, critics argue that NIL has shifted priorities away from education. According to the American Free News Network, the traditional idea of the student athlete has lost meaning as financial gain becomes the primary motivator now. Additionally, organizations such as the Michigan organization report that many athletes' long-term development, which affects many athletes prioritize NIL offers over academic fit or long-term development, which affects institutional values and public trust in college sports. The solution is not to eliminate NIL, but to reform it. We must restore loyalty, competitive balance, and education to college football. This includes capping NIL compensation, regulating player transfers, educating athletes on teamwork, academics, and long-term growth. To do this, the people are going to review the current NIL system and analyze its effects on transfers, performance, and loyalty. They're also going to collaborate with the NCAA, universities, players, and coaches to create fair regulations. Third, we're going to introduce education programs at the high school and college level that emphasizes values beyond money. If we reform NIL, players will be more loyal to teams, will be more balanced, and fans will reconnect with their programs. But if NIL remains unchecked, college football will continue to lose its identity, constant transfers will happen, and it will become normal. And the traditions that made the sport special will disappear. In conclusion, NIL has changed college football by promoting pay-to-play recruiting, weakening loyalty, damaging team culture, disrupting competitive balance, and deprioritizing education. Thank you.